guys, Comic Uno. Today I'm doing a review for Green Lantern issue 15, but before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a little update. I have 5 comics on Dark Avenger Inc. that I usually review on Comic Uno, so let's tell you guys those comics, and to check out Dark Avenger Inc., there will be a link for Dark Avenger Inc. in the description below, that way you can go check out those reviews. So the comics are Loving Capes, What to Expect, issue 5, which actually came out last week, Scarlet Spider issue 12.1, Green Lantern New Guardians issue 15, All New X-Men issue 4, and Wolverine and the X-Men issue 22. But let's talk about Green Lantern issue 15. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the cover. Love this cover. Love the picture. Love the art. We get, Baz, he is being arrested. He has his lantern ring glowing. Why is he being arrested? The art just perfect. I love how simple it is, but it really tells you something. Love this cover, but let's see if I like the story. So in this issue, we get to see actually a Rise of the Third Army type of tie-in. We get to see a little Rise of the Third Army in the beginning of this, saying, oh, there's a swarm of them, and that's it. We get to see Baz. He confronts the guy whose van blew up, and he's like, dude, I stole the van, but I didn't put the bomb there. I know people are thinking I'm a terrorist, but I'm really not. So we get to see that, but we find out that there's a little trick here. That Baz, who goes to this person is the person who planted the bomb. The person who owned the van. There was not another person who stole the van. The person who owned the van had the bomb in there for a reason. And he is a terrorist who wanted to blow everything up. So we also have this detective that's going on throughout the story that she's trying to figure out, who Baz is. So he's trying to figure out this whole investigation. So as Baz is talking to this other guy about the van, who, obviously is the real terrorist, they both have guns. So the guy says, well, you can't tell anybody because everyone thinks you're the terrorist. So the gunfire goes off, and the FBI agent finds out where the house is, finds out where Baz is, so he ends up going to the house and figures out, oh wait, Baz really didn't do it because there is a pack of, well, not a pack, but there's a whole room of guns and explosions in this guy's basement. So obviously he's the terrorist, and that's the evidence. So the detective's still a little hesitant to be with Baz, but I guess he believes Baz that he didn't do it. And we also have the Rise of the Third Army people going into the house for some reason. So this is just another thing that's happening. And I think he actually kills the guy who owned the van, so the guy's not going to jail because he's part of the Third Army now. And they explode the house to explode the Third Army, and that's what happens. So I'm actually very excited for this, but actually before I start talking about the Baz thing, there's also some Hal and Sinestro in here, which with every issue we get a little, pieces of what's going on with Hal and Sinestro. So Hal and Sinestro, they still have no idea what's going on, but they meet this person who is on Hal's team, but not Sinestro's team. So obviously we get a little guess of who this hooded guy is, and it's someone that is good because he's obviously on Hal's team, someone who doesn't like Sinestro. But hopefully they find out exactly where they are. So they're giving little pieces, but I think there will be an issue where everything gets discovered about them. But I'm glad we don't forget about Hal and Sinestro. But I actually really enjoyed this issue. I think it was really solid. I think with Baz and really with all these new type of characters, I was actually saying this earlier in my Ultimate Comics Spider-Man review with Miles. I feel like with these new superheroes, we're following their journey. We don't know much about these characters, so we're following this journey. And I feel the same way with Baz, and that's why I'm really enjoying his story. And I think there was a really nice twist about the guy who owned the van being the terrorist. So that was just really interesting, and I'm hoping this detective who really doesn't trust Baz does trust Baz. And I think seeing this detective, really, I felt a really nice dynamic with both of them. So maybe he'll become one of those main characters. So pretty interested in that. And again, it's such a new journey, so we really don't know who's going to be a main character, who's going to be a supporting character, who's going to be a villain. And that's what I like about this new journey. We don't know anything about anything yet. So I think that could be interesting if the detective kind of teams up with Baz, because that's what it seems like what's going on with the end of this issue, because it doesn't seem like the detective's going to be leaving anytime soon. So I think it's interesting that there's actually evidence now that Baz not the killer and the terrorist. So that should play an interesting part, and I'm excited for the next couple of issues to see what happens with that and how this connects with the Rise of the Third Army. Also, again, I like that Hal Sinestro, we get little pieces of that, because I think that also for Hal fans and Sinestro fans who've been following this series, we don't forget about them. Obviously, we're not going to forget about them, but we know the writers aren't forgetting about them. So I'm glad we get a little piece of that. So I enjoyed this issue a lot. The only thing I complain about with these Rise of the Third Army stories is that all we get to see is this Third Army popping in, and that's it. They don't really do anything. The whole story arc hasn't really been progressing at all, and I'm really disappointed with that, because I remember when we first heard of Rise of the Third Army, it was like, oh, it's going to be a big story leading up to another big story. So obviously the big story for the next story arc is going to be the First Lantern, and that's going to be a big story. But is it going to be the same thing as this, that we know the premise of this story arc, and that's the same thing that keeps happening? We get to see, oh, the Third Army is trying to contaminate everyone. The Guardians don't like the Lanterns. Like, we get that. Progress something. It's a story arc. Something's supposed to happen. So we get to see the Third Army a lot, but it doesn't really feel like a story arc. It just feels like, oh, well, we gotta put the Third Army here, so we'll just do that. That sounds great. So that's what we've been getting with the Rise of the Third Army, and that's the only thing I was really disappointed with this. The art, of course, is amazing for this. I love the colors for this. They did a great job with, also, here's a picture of with Green, with Hal and Sinestro. The art was great for them, and just great for Baz also. So pick this up if you haven't been picking up. Baz is a really great character and interesting. It's a new journey. This continues Baz's story and Hal's story a lot. Not really Third Army story that much, but if you've been really enjoying Baz, I think you'll really enjoy this, because it just really continues the story that he's been telling. So pick this up. I give 4 stars, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rand Situations, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys later. Bye.